vibrant. Now, where the gap then becomes or has been identified to have been is the fact that I've already talked about the fact that at this end here, you find it will be your public institutions and you'll have public funding somewhat. At some stage when you have, by that time, have a business and running your technology through a private company or an SMME, you need to then have private funding. And you find that the complications come at that space. And that's the space that we have termed somewhat the chasm. You are moving your ideas into viable businesses. And what is needed there, you need strategic partnerships. This is an area where it's finance intense. This is a space where it's really high risk because we don't know. Once we've funded you, will this be a success in the market? That we don't know. And as a result, that's when we came up with having a national technology commercialization strategy, which is meant to be meant or implemented by all the stakeholders previously mentioned who are in this space. Then just moving to the role of incubation, I did talk about the gap. You'll see that that's the space because currently what happens is that when you are developing technology, funding is available, good funding up until probably you develop a prototype. Post-prototype, when you want to then go to small-scale manufacturing, validate the technology or the product, go to product prototyping, then it's a very, the landscape is not as well defined. And you'll find this is the stage where people who want to do this will be then moving from TIA with one application, going to IDC with another application, going to DTI with an application, and it's really confusing to the people on the ground. Now, one of the things that we have come up with the two programs, one is around technology incubation and the other one is techno-industrial clusters. Now, the role of incubation in commercialization process one, around product development, because once you have incubation where ideas or technology or prototypes are developed, then you'll have where during product development, you complete the feasibilities, the lab test in terms of the proof of concept, should they have come from a PhD report, or it's something that one is coming up with as an invention. You have that prototype, you start somewhat small scale production. You need to show us that you can make about 10 of these things for you to be able to then comfortably say you can reproduce whatever it is that you're making. What then becomes your target market? Through incubation, we want to then, you need to, at that stage, look at market studies and evaluation. What markets are you targeting? You need to have a market plan. You then need to have a market validation. Venture assessment, that's when now forming a fully fledged business and starting to look at who then becomes your partner. You have business partners, you have technology development partners, which will be your institutions of higher learning or your CSIRs or Mintex. So who then becomes your partner in really making sure that this business thrives, especially if it's technological oriented. IP evaluation. How are you going to protect your IP? Which markets are you going to be looking for? Are you going to be licensing it? If you are, who do you assign it to?